Hi, Clayton. My name is Danielle. My husband and I have been trying to purchase a home for the last 2 years in the West Palm Beach area. We have been outbid by 15,000 plus or people sight unseen purchasing with cash in this area. The average home is probably going for around 500,000. We do have 100,000 plus saved up as a down payment. So my question for you is, we would love to just have our first starter home to purchase around here, but we do keep getting outbid. So do we just pay more for a home knowing or hoping that this area is going to continue going up? Or do we overpay for an investment property and know that the rent will cover the mortgage on that while we continue to stay in our apartment that we are renting? Or do we purchase a vacation home in an area that is not as hot so we can do an investment property elsewhere? We're kind of stuck at this point because we'd love to be in our first home, but when seeing what people are paying for rent, it makes it seem silly not to do an investment property, but we know we're going to be overpaying. So I would love to hear your opinion, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Okay, you're not stuck, Danielle. A couple of things there. Number one, you're not stuck. You've got a lot of options at your feet right now, but I think you're looking at the wrong solutions, if I'm being blunt with you. Let me just start by saying, number one, a home you live in that you pay to live in is not a performing asset. You're taking $100,000 that you have in savings and you're putting that into a non-performing asset, a house that you will now live in, that you are admittedly overpaying for. And yes, Florida, we're definitely seeing the signs in some of these bubble markets of overvalued properties. Okay. And trouble, certainly on the banking sector, as federal government, Federal Reserve starts to pull back all of this free money to these banks. So just pay attention to what's happening right now in that sector. So now you're going to buy a home to live in. You're going to put down $100,000. You're literally taking that $100,000 and in many ways, I hate to say it, but kind of throwing it away. $100,000. I always give a frame of reference. I'm sure you're probably sick of me saying this here on the show, but I use, because we build about 600 properties a year, so I have a good frame of reference for our clients at Morris Invest. So imagine you took $100,000. That's 2 down payments for 2 full service, completed, brand new construction rental properties. Okay. Now you've got 2 properties with financing for the rest, but you've taken that $100,000 and you've gotten 2 cash flowing rental properties in Texas, where is our primary market, just as a hypothetical. And now those are producing thousands of dollars a month in cash flow, well above your mortgage. And the internal rate of return, because you're not overpaying, like we're not in a bubble market. We're not just randomly increasing our overall rental property prices. They're staying consistently with a great ROI market, in our West Texas market. So now you're getting that property, 2 properties that are cash flowing, not above market value, like at market value, with great cash flow in some of the best rental markets in the country. Now you've turned that $100,000 into cash flow. Okay? You're still living in your apartment. That doesn't mean you can't rent a house in that particular area. So again, owning a home is not a performing asset. And again, go back to Robert Kiyosaki or any of my mentors over the years. Use performing assets to pay for your lifestyle. So now you have this cash flow from 2 rental properties in West Texas, okay, that are cash flowing for you, thousands of dollars a month. Now those thousands of dollars a month, you can both be putting it in savings and putting money away, or using that cash flow now to cover rent in a house that you want to pick in the neighborhood that you like in West Palm Beach or on another spot, and rent. Now, when the market takes a tumble and that landlord that owns that property in West Palm Beach suddenly had a $500,000 home and now it's actually only worth $400,000, you don't care because you don't own the home. you're paying a rent, and maybe even your rent will go down as a result of the shift in the market. And you don't have to worry about repairs. You don't have to worry about, in Florida, the air conditioning going out, fixing that, or the pool pump, or any of those things. I know I have a lot of real estate investor friends in Florida. I own properties in Florida, and I can tell you that, the pool pump and all the heat, all that kind of stuff that you would have to take care of as a homeowner, and paying the taxes and everything else. So all of that is on you as a property owner in Florida. So you mentioned a couple of things. You mentioned like taking that money, the $100,000, and putting it towards an investment property that you said you were going to overpay. Well, maybe in Florida you would be if you bought the wrong property. So I just would want you to think about in terms of like where you would actually be investing. Like just get your head out of Florida for a second, okay? Get your head out of Florida, get your head out of all the insurance you'll pay in Florida, as well as for a property owner to be an investor, because you're going to be paying more for investment insurance in Florida. I can tell you this from experience. For hurricane insurance, you want to add in flood insurance, storm surge insurance, all of those things. You want to add that in now in Florida. So just get your head out of the vacation game in Florida, get your head out of the investing in Florida option at the moment, and start thinking bigger about this. But I just want to say, Danielle, you're not stuck, but I want you to think differently about it. Now, I've got a whole video series here on like why, tune into my channel on why owning a home is not a performing asset. Just think differently about it. I'm not just saying don't ever buy a home. I'm just saying let your performing assets allow you to buy that home. So thank you for that question, Danielle. I hope you found that helpful. Thanks to all of you for listening. You can leave us a voicemail question by going to morrisinvest.com/Clayton to drop us a question about real estate or financing, anything that's on your mind, and we will answer it here on the show. Now go out there, everyone. Take action. Become a real estate investor. I believe it's the #1 way to build wealth. We'll see you next time, everyone.